Type, and it's Isotype. Isotype's one from set, flashing. Vega one. Where's he come from? Vega one's got up and won.
And it's Cinema's What a Star won the Caulfield Cup.
Or Mystic Aroma, 3 lengths in.
There go, you mug.
Yeah, this fucking shit. How good is it? The old punters app. They don't have the predictor. That's only in the paid version, I saw.
Oh, shortlist or black book or...
Well, the shortlist and the black were the good ones. The predictor was like what they thought would win. I was like, no one gives a fuck about that.
Yeah. Anyway, another week, another punters. Oh shit, we're on air, mate.
Oh jeez, oh mate, we're still complaining about it.
Punters plus, mate. We just want the shortlist.
Oh, that's all we want.
I just
want to put that little orange star next to next to the horses that I want every week. Anyway,
we're a couple of stars. That's what they need to do for us. Anyway, I had to find a pen to write down. I can't spell.
I'm gonna start writing them on my arm. I think I might, get a bit of a list here.
Yeah. Well, look. Anyway, Bean, you might notice something. There's a couple of elephants that aren't in the room, and one we're talking about, the bloke with the big schnoz.
We've lost our biggest fan.
We see him on a bit of a, a mercenary mission, I guess you could call it, back up to Rockhampton.
Yep.
So
he's going to get a sniff of the turf of the famous Archer. I think he's going to have a bit of a sus for us.
Look at him.
Yeah,
but no, well that's it, mate. We talked about it a little bit last week. So he said, boys, put me on the private jet and get me up to Rocky to talk to some people.
So we put him in the Navara.
So we gave him $5 each petrol money and a sign. So Lloydy's not with us, but he was meant to chime through with some of his quirks, but he hasn't done that yet. So I'm sure he'll get up on the Instas and say g'day if you're lucky. But the silence, mate, it's almost too quiet.
It feels a bit eerie actually. So there's no crickets.
And look, we have a lot of fun doing this.
Mm-hmm.
We don't really like to bend the budget so much, but it was just surprising that people actually listen to us, because we get messages come through and say, boys, just get a microphone, get the hell away from those cicadas, because I can't hear half the stuff you're saying. Which is, well,
I'm not sure it's valuable. No, they must like the sound of our voice.
Trust us, you haven't missed much we only kicked it back last week, didn't we? So last week was a bit of a horrendous one anyway, but as you'll see if you're watching.
We did miss, didn't we?
Mate, I had a look through. We had, I think there was about 7 seconds on the card, and we were vibing all week about it, but there was 3 or 4 that were absolutely crunched in the markets. I know Thundermania was a big one that I tipped. It was 20s into $4 or something stupid, and finishes 7th or 8th.
Yeah, I think C. Marie's in the bin. Fairless Sade's gone.
Yeah.
And the Ritz drifted like a barge. It was
did.
out to $8.50 at jump time. So, and we know if the money's gone the opposite way at Doomben, they don't often get home at Doomben. That's just that's how it works. Money talks all languages.
Well, with this pen, I might write that down, mate, because when I saw the Ritz keep blowing out, I just thought, this is just giving me more free money.
Yeah.
And here we are crawling back.
Yep.
But look, it's an interesting meet this week. We're up the sunny coast, and the form that we're sort of looking at is a bit tough to line up, because you're looking at the Wave meeting, which was a heavy 45 that day down the GC. Then you got the Magic Millions form as well, the week after. And they had that little let's compete with the Magic Millions meet at Doomben that day. I don't know why they didn't have one Wednesday, but that was a provisional meet too as well. So you got horses that are sort of coming from everywhere, which it's going to make it a pretty tough meet to line up.
Yeah, it looked pretty. I'm not that keen on many, to be honest.
Fun,
even the listed race is a bit kind of like, got the big boy back, the Harrovians back again. Tie Zone's up for the Edmonds as well, but there's a few interesting little
It is.
There's a couple in the market that sort of popped up, and I was like, oh, I'm not sure about that, but anyway.
Some good horses there, but you just don't know if they're a fan their right race.
Garoppolo.
Gee whiz.
The 49ers are still in the hunt for the Super Bowl, mate. Maybe that could be a bit of an omen.
Well, I haven't asked you yet. I was going to say, after what race do we launch the famous Beans Get in the Sea? Because it could be very close to Garoppolo this week. But you just pipe in when you need to fire that off, mate. But look, we'll get stuck in. No Lloydy, which means we can speed through. We're going to have to use a few big words to help our credibility up here. That's one itself, credibility. Yeah. Race 1, mate. Rails in the true, and there's a bit of rain up there, but Sunny Coast is one of those ones. I don't know if it's going to bog this week, but it'll certainly be a soft. Is that how you're seeing it?
It says soft 7 at the moment. I think there's a tiny bit of weather about, but it'll probably. I don't think it'll. I don't think unless you get a downpour for the next 2 days, it'll be heavy, but
Yeah.
they'll be given the ground, so that's always a bonus for some of them.
It's one of those tracks too that they seem to
Rails in the true as well. So
Yeah.
I think you're gonna want to be on pace early.
Well, that's what I was gonna say.
I don't want to be running in the back in the slop.
and they seem to at the sunny coast. If the rail's playing pretty hot, they just seem to gap. Don't
Yeah,
they?
it's-
Like
it's-
they
It's
whether
the,
it just
it's the,
looks
it's,
like
the,
they're
it's
on
the
TV,
Rockhampton factor again. They
Yeah,
leave around the
long
corner.
straight.
It's a 2,000 metre straight. Nothing catches them.
yeah.
And you just go, what's going on here? What?
Or it's you overestimate the straight, I guess, and you don't get your horse going enough, and it's finishing 45 lengths third,
Yeah.
just because of exactly that. So,
Yep.
yeah, it's a big meet, but race one, mate, we'll fly through the first three because
Yep.
they're pretty tough races. But you got the locals in charge up top. Wolf Moon is your favourite. BM72. So the great news for the first two races on the card here being, if we absolutely F this one up, race one. Race two is a BM72 over the 1400 as well. So you could pretty much just
copy
and paste.
Can I put the same horse in the second race
Well,
as well?
if it's running seventh
myself
and
another
hitting the
chance.
line, you may as well make it go around again. But Wolf Moon, Benny Thompson, Billy Healy, $3.80 favourite, mate. You've got Caffrey is an interesting runner, mate. Former Moody, now with Des Forster. And of course, with Des Forster, you get Jim Byrne on top.
You do.
That's the combo.
Pretty keen on that one as well, actually.
Yeah, well, they're all about $4 in the market. It's pretty open, mate. So Caffrey.
Yeah, Caffrey. I just think it's
Leader.
it's going to go forward in the run. I think that's obviously where you want to be. Burns, he's probably the best judge of pace going around these days. I mean,
Yeah.
anything forced to train seems to kick lead wins. So
Doesn't it?
if you want a horse that leads and a good jockey, he's the man.
Well, and it did that in Victoria,
Yeah,
didn't it?
it's coming up from benchmark 90s at Flemington at headquarters against. I mean, no disrespect to Wolf Moon and the Lioness, but Luna Snit.
Oh, mate.
It's
How did it get out of the ocean?
Mate, it's crawled
I
out.
don't know.
It's crawled out of the sea. But anyway, look, I just have to have it on top. I think it's going to be there. It's 3 for 7 this trip on the pace, rail and true. I think it's be pretty hard to hold out.
Mate, I'm going to double figures here. I'm giving you the mugs a bit of value in race one.
You're hunting.
Moon and Me.
Yeah,
It's just a bit underrated in the market every week, isn't it? Like, I know, look,
I still can't catch it.
That's
I can't
it.
catch a lot of things, to be fair. So.
But it goes, look,
Yeah.
it's going to get its go. It's going to be soft. It loves the sunny coast.
Yep.
And you talk about Caffrey's form coming up. This fella's probably got as good as form in this field as anything else. I mean, last start you have 4 lengths, 5th to Roman Aureus,
Yeah.
Paladas. Like, that's a pretty damn hot Class 6 race.
Yep.
Start before that was beaten Spokesman at Doomben.
Yeah, rated that horse.
And you know, you just go back through its form this prep. It's every horse that's sort of come out and beaten it has gone on being competitive in better races as well.
Yeah.
So I think it's fine under the radar.
Bulletproof
there a bit,
too.
mate.
It's pretty tough as well.
Yeah, and it can lead. It can sort of sit off the lead. So coming from barrier 2 might be
all the
following
fans,
you the whole way through, mate, which is
Yeah.
handy to do.
That Oron, speaking of, we won't
Oh,
waste
that
too
thing.
much time. But it was like $1.30 like hot pot for start at Ipswich, and it has done almost nothing.
It has, and I
It's been a
remember.
pretty disappointing, sort of like.
I remember it
The spruik
trod
was on.
like a bomb. And I
Yeah.
remember that was the spruik, and you're right, it opened ridiculous, got rolled, and but I think it fell in that day, didn't it, Ipswich?
Yeah, I
It
think
won
it
it.
did.
And
I think it was
think-
its only other win apart
Yeah.
from last start before last. Anyway,
Anyway, mate,
Enough
moving
on
on.
that. Yep.
So just again, rinse. I'm not even going to say it. I'm just going to go back through the editing, copy and paste. Race 2, 1400 BM72.
boom.
Are we doing the Beans Get in the Sea segment early here, mate? With Garoppolo at $2.60. Believe it or not.
No, we're not. I'm actually on it. I just find that the race just doesn't. There's nothing else that really sort of gets me going, to be honest. And
What
I
do you-
just think.
Are your thoughts about it on a soft? Because that's sort of what scared me. I mean, it's only had zip from 2,
Yeah.
but it's a pretty decent horse on its day when it's not a soft.
Yeah, well, it came through that. It was favourite that day, Misty's in the Class 3 plate there, where she
Yep.
ran fourth, I think it was. And I just think it was almost too bad to be true that day. So for me, it's just a straight forgive. I know it's normally a mile and a miler only sort of bet, but 1400, it gets the track to sort of suit that
Yeah.
run on style if it does get its chance. The only other one that has been pretty good at the Sunny Coast. I think it's 2 for 2. I can't have it on top because it's been bloody awful and I can't stand the trainer. But group think for Michelle Payne and Jim Byrne, mate, $31. That's as an absolute smoky. Mate. But yeah, anyway.
Former Edo Rourke, I was wondering where
it was previously was it Sunny Coast or he's down
He's down New South Wales.
Oh yeah, he is over the border. That's right.
Eddie must have gone through the old online sales, and Michelle's picked up a bargain, mate. She loves a bargain.
Right, she does.
Doesn't she?
She does love a bargain.
I was going to say you're the one that would know, but you probably definitely don't know. I don't think she would have had a winner here up yet, would she?
Oh, how many runners has she even had? I see one like this every maybe month.
It was sort
or something. It was the biggest group story on planet Earth, and then it's just been the biggest flop ever.
Mate, I remember seeing a bloody story on Racing Queensland every week about Michelle Payne moving to Queensland, and then since she's gotten here, I don't think they've said boo to her.
No, they even said that.
Maybe we should.
We should get her on the show.
I'll send you out there. Yeah. She'd love to come on the show.
Sounds good.
Hook her up. So Michelle, we know you're listening.
She likes it sprayed. We could get her on the C segment.
Just email through to one of our receptionists. You just have a guess at their emails. I've gone Stormy Rock. Missing Aroma form as well, so we're both tying it in here.
It was a good run that day, knocked us off the front.
Knocked us off that day. And last start, we're in the same boat. Harlequin, whatever it was, just absolutely walked out in front. So nothing was going to run on a beater. And this Stormy Rock, if you watched that start before in that Garoppolo race, it flew from nowhere to get a third. So
gobbled them up
it's going to need the pace, and I think there'll be a bit of pace here. Like, it's one of those ones that a few of them can go forward.
Jinx and Drink certainly knows one way.
Well, that's exactly right, mate.
That's lightning.
So, lightning, which is what we're going to need, and we might need some drinks after that, mate.
Yeah, I think so.
All right, 2 down, mate. 7 to go on a track that's... I don't mind betting at the Sunny Coast.
I reckon it's my least favourite track.
I was going to say, I've got no stats to back me up, but I reckon a punter right there too. And you're obviously had some shockers there. That's why you're so strong
if I tip
about it.
If I tip 2 this week and I picked a fair few shorties, I think I'm doing pretty well for myself because normally I come up empty-handed at the old Sunny Coast.
All right, well, mates, we're empty-handed here because in race 3 we've got a mile race, which is 3-year-old handicap, and we've got a horse that would have absolutely fitted real well in here.
Yeah, we sure do.
So, Holbers, I know you're listening in the car right now, mate, and I know you're thinking what could have been, because this field, I mean, I'm having flashbacks from Military Gambler at Ipswich a couple of weeks ago, smashed into about $1.20 and gets bobbed out on the line by something ridiculous, and we're talking like Saturday provincials, but that's your favourite almost with Why We Drink, and that's why we drink, because we have some fields like this. Let's keep it quick, mate. Mile, who wins this one?
Military Gambler. It's just the best horse in the race. You know, it's had better runs and better races, and I just think against this lot, surely it has to go close. We go on board. Tick.
I think, can't add too much there, mate. Last prep, it knocked off Startontes.
Yeah.
Once upon a time.
And it's in a pretty good race later on in the day.
Oh, well, that horse has just gone on to do some pretty damn good things, hasn't it? So,
yeah.
I think we're all on board there, mate, which is good because we're going to jag this early quaddie. And
it's going to be a tough one to get.
We do. And, mate, we had a bit of brainstorming last week. You know, we want this show to be bigger and better every single week. So we're taking some actions this week. We've got the microphone.
Yep.
We're inside. There's no cicadas in here. Unless you watch
really stepping it up.
Let's watch this. Unless you've got any other animals in here that we don't know about. But we've got a couple of new segments to come on this show.
Yep.
So we've got Beans Get in the Sea, which is rave reviews every single week. We've got a segment later that Lloydy's going to host. Whether he does it this week or not, that's part of the surprise of Mug's punting. We just don't know what's going on.
Gonna happen.
But I got a pretty big scoop for us.
Ooh.
We figured we're the premier Brisbane racing show.
Yeah.
If not entity, you could say. So we're a little bit lost without Brisbane's premier trainer making an appearance on this podcast every week, aren't we?
Yeah, we are. It's hard to believe.
I mean, Channel 7 have their viewership of Randwick and whatever. Guess who's on every week? Chris Waller pops on, says his 2 cents, just because he is the man in Sydney. Tony Gollan is the man up here in Brisbane.
Man. Yes, he is.
So he may not know this yet, but he's signed an illustrious deal to jump on the just for a minute or two every week and just have a bit of a chat with Mozza about what's going on in the world of Tony Gollan and perhaps some insight on some runners this week. So
this should be good.
Take a look, Mugs. Mugs, this is a dream come true. We've got Tony Gollan that's joining me. Tony, thanks for coming on with the Mugs. That's right, mate. We'll crack in and now look, we've vibed with quite a bit. Is it TJ, God, what do I call you? Well, what can you tell the mugs at home watching this, what we can expect from these one-on-ones every week?
Jam-packed full of excitement. It's a real event now.
And hey, how about those Garra No Baldy t-shirts? Are they in production?
Move along.
Yep. Good horse. Lloydy, he reckons he's back to bloody every start. Thoughts on that, idiot?
Look, I'll work on the better side of soft.
Yeah, I thought so, but I mean, you and myself had some good times, haven't we? Bean came along that day, do you remember that?
It's a little while ago, we went to a cricketer's lunch before the first test and...
Look, we got one of the mum's favourites, Needorp, going around at the Sunny Coast, and remember, that's what we're here to talk about. In your best cliches, tell us her chances.
Maps well, the track should be okay for her. I think she looks pretty hard to beat, actually.
Okay. Well, mate, look, we appreciate your time. Are we going back to Gallopers for a couple?
No, it's my favourite venue. Yeah, I'm sure we know what we're going to expect there.
All right, you're locked into the Winter Carnival with the mugs?
TJ, mate.
He's a big dog.
Mate, he is a big dog.
Look, man of few words,
Yeah,
but I think it's going to be a, give and take. He's going to give us a little bit more every week. So, Tony, thanks for jumping on, and please don't.
We pump his tyres up every week.
Would
It'd be nice if he jumped on and,
That's all he has to do.
Right.
Just say, look, Mugs, this is, I'm reaching out to all your millions and millions of fans, just letting the people know that I'm one of you, which is all we need for. But he does have one in race 4, which seems a little bit smart. Musciali?
Musciali, yeah.
Musciali? Is that what you're going with?
Yep.
I think, it doesn't get any easier, does it?
No.
We've done this every single time, haven't we?
Rubicutus, is it? Do they
Rubicutus?
call it Rubicutus? I think they're called. I'll have to read.
Was it Rubiquitus? Quitios?
Rubictuous? I don't know.
Look,
it's a hell of a name anyway.
It's a winner.
It is a winner.
They both are winners. And, mate, they're sharing favouritism at $3.50 each. And if you're looking at form lines going in, how's this for a form line stack up? Rubicuitus.
Yeah, it's got some form, doesn't it?
Beat Self-Indulgent last start,
Yeah.
which is a pretty decent scalp.
Comes out last.
Musciali
Yeah.
beats Frosty Mango last start. What 2 horses run the Cornella at Doomben last week? Those two. So,
yeah.
which out of the 2 is the better form line? That's the question.
Well, Musciali's proven at the Sunny Coast because it's won there.
One well.
Yeah,
memory too.
it was just absolutely walloped. He came down the outside and bolted like a certainty. I actually, no jockeying on. I'm actually a bit keen on the Rattlesnake here because it's got former and Ruby Cutis.
Soon Cutis are going to pay us their breeding bonus.
Yeah, they are exactly right. But it was pretty good first up at Ipswich.
Yeah.
We got the overs there. I think it was 10s into 650, got absolutely hammered or something, and we were all over that price. Came out and then ran a pretty good third. Second up, it's back here. That day it led. I think on the speed map here, it's got off midfield. That's clearly wrong.
Yeah.
Or there's plenty of scope. So I just think at the $14. I know the weight advantage is with the top 2 in the market, but $14, it's got to be half a show with form around the market leader.
So well, doesn't
Yeah,
it?
I just thought it was a bit of value with those 2, but it'll be those 2 top 2 in that, I think.
Yeah, I'm sticking with Ruby on top.
Yeah.
And they're stable mates too. So
and that's like the Rattlesnake might not run. There's no job on, so
or it means it romps in over the stable mate.
One of us is going to be right out.
One of the 2.
So, but you
it might. We'll have to have a look because it might. I think they're at Ipswich as well on Saturday, which I saw had a stack of noms. So maybe it's going there because that would make sense, wouldn't it? You'd split your 2 good horses.
Yeah, you're not going to put them in the same race unless your name's Les Ross.
That's true.
And then you put them all in the same race.
Top 5 out of 6 races, but he is a whiz. So Ruby on top for me, and it's just like this horse last prep. It's obviously come back and done the job, mate. So, he's seen something,
mate. I can't believe the price I've seen. I swear.
For the Rattlesnake.
No, I don't want to cut you off there, but for the next race, mate. For the absolute superstar.
Okay. Well, that's enough of race 4, mate. We need to move on quickly because Lloydy's catchphrase, and we're almost getting a t-shirt made up. Yep. It's the smartest named horse in the world.
Yeah, it is.
We own a smart one. $2.10. Is that what you're wowing at?
Yeah, that's what I was wowing at. I'm just a bit. I know Sartantes has that has pretty good form lines, but I thought $2.10 was, mate. You never see black figures for the old
unders or overs.
I reckon it's overs. I reckon it'll start shorter.
Well, that's the thing. This is the first
It's David
test
Van Doomben though, and he trains at the track, and you just feel like it has a little.
David Van Sunny Coast, mate.
Yeah, well, there is two
Well,
tracks.
what was-
I just feel like it's going to get all the advantages.
Because what did he
like?
Well, it fell
It's been-
in, it fell in at the Gold Coast.
Yeah, I remember that.
But
day.
they scratched it from Eagle Farm. It might have been that day as well. So
Yeah.
my only concern, and I don't know if this really means much, but it's going back through the form. It's been up since March. It has its freshen ups. It comes back. It might be just that horse that goes well when it's racing, but
Yeah.
is that a good thing or a bad thing? Because it's only had
It's probably a bad thing long term.
it's only had what 9 starts. So
Yeah.
if it's been up for 7 of those, it's really its sort of first couple of reps, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, I think it just depends on the horse really. If that's what suits it, then you just sort of got rolling with it. I mean,
Does it lead?
Yeah, it'll lead, but it's gonna have. It won't be leading on its own.
Well,
You got Racecourse Road. It's an absolute bolter, and then the toughest horse in Australia, King Klaus.
well, I'm
Up there
glad you mentioned it, mate, because
Klaus.
I've got the King on top.
Ooh.
And it's just because it's a Sunny Coast absolute bloody specialist as well.
Yep.
So
It is.
we just haven't seen we own a smart one at this sort of grade. So this is easily the hardest race it's competed in, which is going to be, we're either going to have a superstar come out of it or we found the level kind of thing.
Yeah.
But mate, the King, it just doesn't put in a bad race. If it's going to stay soft, absolute wheelhouse
Yeah.
for this thing.
Yeah. Exactly.
As you know, mate, I don't need to tell you.
Needorp's.
Needorp's the other one, mate. Well, as you saw with my chat with Tony, he's says all the right things.
Yep.
Got the fans hat on as well.
Does.
So, mate, it's a cracker race, but yeah, the King on top for me.
Yeah, it is the value. I just think I'm on the have to be with the shorts
Yeah.
there. Take it.
I'm
Take it when we can still get it.
I'm just a fool, mate. So, all right. Well, let's get your mathematical market setting insight, mate. Come jump. What do you reckon it starts at?
Start about $1.70, $1.75, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll get a prize out to you if you win.
If I'm close.
Beautiful. Well, mate, quaddy time. Ding, 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 ding.
Dude.
Race 6.
Isn't this a belt on this race?
Oh, gee whiz.
I think you thought it was hard early on in the day. I think this is probably the toughest race of the day, to be honest with you.
That's why I can't gauge.
It's a sham. It's the Shamrock Lou. It's a sham.
And so you got the Sunshine Coast Cup, and we're just going on tangents here because we love it.
Mm-hmm.
But this is 2 weeks after the Magic Millions, and you've got 2 BM72s, a 3-year-old handicap. This is a class 3.
Yeah.
Like, why is there not? And this could probably happen at Brisbane too, but why isn't there just 3 or 4 races like for the 2-year-olds?
Yeah.
Hey, we've got a bonus on this race.
Keep them up here. You've got your
2
big
more races.
stables here.
Yep.
And it gives them a target as well. If they sort of aim for the stars, I aim for the stars, land in the clouds, and they might be able to pick up something here
And
or
that's
there.
the thing. If you watch both the replays there, the 2-year-old, 3-year-old Magic Millions, there is that many hard luck stories.
Oh yeah.
The trainers
they're
are
always
just like,
the Gold Coast.
if there's another race up here. Yeah.
Mm.
So you wonder why they just don't, because Sydney do it all the time. You run in this race 2 weeks later, there's a 200k bonus if you win.
Yeah, if you win,
on top of
yeah.
the prize money. So
Yeah.
it could be a good idea, but hey, we're not here to bloody plan
Don't
Racing Queensland programming, are we, mate?
mate.
No. I'm just trying to distract
just
everyone
calm
from the
down.
fact of race 6. You've got $4 the field, and
Yeah.
One Shy Ruby is that favourite. So big Ando, mate, he could be in for a big day.
Yeah, he could have a big day. One Shot Ruby's flying actually. Look, like I said, I found this race pretty hard. I've actually landed on the Matt Dunn train at Shanjomi, mate.
I've got to keep scrolling down
Yeah,
here.
it's
Where are
a
we?
fair way down. It's number 10. So
Okay. First up.
I'm having trouble catching Mr. Maloney. He's leading the jockey premiership in Queensland, but I must be on all ones he's not winning on because every time I back him, he's killing me.
Yeah,
but anyway,
you're
so
not sprigging him too much.
no,
are you?
it's not a love relationship
No.
just yet. But I think this could change it. 3 for 3 on a soft track, which gets here. I think that's a big tick. First time around the sunny coast, you're not going to have any problems with Mr. Maloney in the saddle. And I like the fact that it'll be on speed because I still think that's going to be the place to be. Even later in the day, they might fan wide at the sunny coast, but they generally run, even if it's 4 lanes out, the leaders just kick and win. I'm happy to be with the price at about $11 and $3.50. I think it's overs.
Easy. I'm going short way home, mate.
Ooh,
the
favourite.
horse at the moment, big one shy.
Yeah.
Jockey at the moment, Seth Thornton on board. So
Yeah, she's flying, eh?
yeah, well they got a wedding to pay for now. Yeah,
They do,
far
they
out,
do.
And you know all about that. They're not cheap.
No,
So,
mate.
yeah, just seems to just be racing well. Like that's pretty much what it come to here. I mean, you got Zing Along in there for God's sake, mate.
Yeah,
That
it's yeah,
I'm dead well and
mate,
true.
your favourite,
Done.
your favourite.
Oh,
Zing
yeah,
Along.
oh, it's zinged me along a lot, mate.
It's cost you a lot of Zinger boxes. I
Well,
think,
what
mate.
does it
You
have?
haven't been able to buy too many now.
I've had 5 stars this prep and I haven't had a Zinger box since it started because that's how you got to do it. Zing Along wins, you get yourself a Zinger box. That is the rule. It just hasn't won for a while. That's why
Now there's
weight's dropping off
there's
me,
no
mate.
chicken, mate. So
I know, and
you
it'll
can't
come
even
out
get the
and
Zinger box. Get
It'll
off.
come out and win. I'll go, you know what? Didn't have it, but it's tradition. I'll rock up to the drive-through, and that's exactly
Sorry,
what they
sir,
tell me.
No Zinger fillets today, but
They'll be like, would you like an original fillet burger? No, thank you.
Speaking of fillets, mate,
Mm.
fish fillets, where do they come from? They come from the sea, mate.
Oh.
Beans in the sea this week.
Here
I'm talking wop, wop, wop. That's some wet ass.
we go.
It's in the listed Sunny Coast plate. Actually, it's one of it was a Bean and Moz favourite there when it first came to town. Fisticuffs. I reckon cuff it up and lob it in the ocean, mate. It is dead set done. This thing.
Yeah.
It's
Please do.
it's going no good. It's like I know it's running in pretty good races, but and the Sunny Coast.
151 to 1. What?
Mate, it's I
What
saw
happened?
200 to 1 last, mate. It was starting $3 favourite at Doomben on a
Yeah.
regular basis when it
Yeah.
first came to town. It's had 23 starts, career starts for 5 wins, and it is a perennial place getter, mate. It is the horse that just loves to dip in for seconds and thirds. 1 win in the last year when it first came to Queensland. I reckon I backed it the first 10 starts, so it's just gobbled up every penny I've ever made at the track. And 200k in prize money, 6-year-old gelding. It's time to just head off to the greener pastures or the green algae in the sea somewhere, mate. It's just time.
Maybe we put the Zinger secret herbs and spices on the fish fillet that is
exactly.
fisticuffs.
Yeah,
and
mate. He's gone. He's dead set gone.
yeah, very fair call.
Could
Very,
be,
very
could be a
fair
Darwin horse in a few years' time. You know, they pick up a 9-year-old and they come out and win like a champ.
It's the best thing about watching the old Darwin races.
Yeah, you
when
get to see all your old favourites.
Yeah.
It costs you a fortune. They're
do.
They're bolting around on the dirt at $1.50, and you're like, God, my lord, that thing's got up here.
You should have just backed it then too. You would have gotten all the money back.
Unbelievable. Anyway, so yes.
Okay, moving on because we'll get to race 8. We're race 7.
Oh, that was a race that, yeah.
Yeah.
I jumped ahead, mate. I was too excited
You were.
about it.
Well, I think you sort of knew that I was looking for a bit of value in the latter end of this card, so we had to absolutely find something. Mate, when I did my form this morning, the odds weren't out here.
Oh.
And there's a horse another one that we love, and most
we do
most
love
people
it.
love, and it's a big grey.
Oh.
Big,
Gets me
bad,
nervous.
flashing grey. And there's one at the top of the market here, Slow Hands,
Mate.
which I can't believe it's open as favourite. But $4.60 is an absolute mile specialist. We used to pick this thing a mile off to go, as soon as it hits that mile, bang.
Mile?
Yeah, throw it in.
Wet track. Tick, tick.
That's exactly right. You're going to get
They're
that
the only
here.
requirements.
Going to get that here. So you're getting $4.60 for Slow Hands, but another one that has just gone a complete 180. Smart Meteor. How well is this thing racing right now? It's won 2 out of its last 3, and same thing. Once the slot comes, the only problem is, mate, your 2 favourites in the market, but there's about 4 or 5 of them around that $6-7 mark.
Yeah, well, even profit, mate, it's come up $6.50, and that thing really against this field. I know it's carrying a bit extra weight. It's just it's better than them, I think, on paper. But
It just doesn't race like that.
No, I know.
Enough,
It's got all the ability in the world to be a champion, but it just can't put it together. But old Ando could have.
Chris, what are you
Mate,
doing?
I'll tell you what, he could be onto something here.
Ando,
But
send us
look,
a hat, mate. We'll get behind profit again.
Yep, we sure will. We'll be counting bills, mate.
Mm.
But look, I'm with Slow Hands.
Yeah.
Profit and Slow Hands, I think they're the top 2. I know Smart Meteor is flying, but I can't miss Slow Hands. A mile, wet track. It's just
Tick.
it's
boom.
the only things you need to be able to back it, and I'm on again. Sign me up.
Yeah, 100%, mate. Can't just do it now, Margs. If you're listening,
Yeah.
before we push,
It's
stop
almost
us
the
now.
best bet anywhere on Saturday.
We got We've got 2 more races after this, but stop the podcast now
Yep.
and get on slow hands because I'm with you, mate. I reckon it's best of the day territory.
Sell your kids' toys, put them on eBay and whack the profits on slow hands, mate.
And even that juicy trifecta, mate. I can't see Warp Speed's one of those things, mate. It hasn't done anything for a long time.
No,
Seat of Power, the same.
Yeah, I reckon they're the 3.
Yeah.
Yep, definitely.
I just wish the Zinger
I actually
was
quite like that race, to be fair.
It's
There's
good
a few
race,
that are going
isn't it?
right there. Yeah. Yep.
And that's what we're loving Queensland racing right now, mate. It's up and about.
Yeah,
you
there's
know?
a few. It's good.
It's usually a bit of a slower time of year, so it's good to see some of these bigger horses coming back. And
Yep.
it's probably headlined in the next race, but just refreshing my market there in the Sunny Coast Cup over 1,400 metres.
Holy, eh?
We got a new favourite, and that's Desert Lord.
Desert Lord.
Oh, now Desert Lord. It was, look, to Davey Van Sunny Coast, Doomben, Ipswich's credit, this thing was a very, very big non-winner for a very long time. It was that horse that would flash, but
He's cranked the
put
gears
together.
and it's starting to. It's going real good actually. It's going a lot better than I thought it ever would.
He's got the alligator blood into it.
Oh mate, so he's got something into it anyway.
Yeah.
It's absolutely flying. Obviously we've got the big H here
Exactly.
lining up again. Bit of a shout out. The All-Star Mile voting open this week.
Yeah.
So the Ritz and the Harrovian are there. So get your votes in for the big fella. I want to get him back
right.
there again. 5th last year. So
Yeah, well, I think this year, it looks like a serious race this
yeah,
year.
it looks
We've had
like
a look at some of those.
like a real good race this year.
But you know what I mean? It's
You've got to be in it
he's-
to win it.
He's a bold front-running horse if he can roll along. Like, why wouldn't you not have a crack, mate?
Oh, mate,
Well,
100%.
let's see a few more Queensland trainers get up and about and have a crack.
Yeah, I
Next
think
year.
so. I think there should be about 40 noms from up here, and we can pick our best potentially. So let's get into it. I was actually surprised to see East Asia that tight in the market with a couple of these. That was the one I was referring to really early on in the potty. Like, I know it's carrying 54 and it's running pretty well, but Desert Lord, the Harrovian East Asia, sort of looks a bit.
It's a different
It looks a bit
conversation,
out, it looks
isn't
a bit
it?
out of place, I would have thought.
Yeah,
Anyway,
I remember it might have been this meeting last year where it won up here at the Sunny Coast and it destroyed him. So
that was when it first started for Heathcote. I mean, I'm not dissing it. It's a quality horse. If it knocks him off on Saturday,
but mate, this
big tick. But it just
you've got a
against
horse-
this field, I'm like, oh, really?
you got a horse 2 years ago that won the most prestigious 1,400
It's
metre race.
$46 in the
Australia.
market.
Ty's only getting 46 for. Star of Michelin. That's that'd be first up for a while. That's a big flashback down memory lane. But this is it's a deep race,
to develop.
and it's one of those ones that Victory 8 at $151 comes out and wins like it's done. I think this race before as well.
Fisticuffs even to really
No,
to throw all into the
no,
sea.
we'll move along, mate. Well, who have you got on top?
Harrovian on top for me, mate. I just think it handles the give in the ground. I like that it's a forward, bold, front running type, like you mentioned. That's the All-Star Mile tick. I mean, it's the 2 Edmonds runners. I mean, they're Group 1 quality. One's won with Stradbroke, and the other one's a bloody superstar. So
Well, you
it's
have to
just
almost
kind of
think,
like, I just can't see. I mean, Desert Lord and the Harrovian are the best 2 horses in this race, but the Harrovian $4. I think you have to be with it, surely.
Yeah, I'm on board, mate. If anything, I thought the weight on East Asia, but you're talking a Stradbroke competitor to East Asia, who's probably won a BM90, if that.
I sort of looked around and was like, oh, can I find a reason? And I was like, you're the best horse in the race, just back the thing.
Exactly.
Get some more money.
I think Desert Lord's just going to be in a tricky spot.
Yeah,
Barrier
12
it's
does
going
not
to go
suit.
back.
Yeah, that's not.
East Asia's in the same boat, really,
that's
as well.
the
Doesn't
problem.
really sit up there too.
But it likes to get back a bit, I guess that's the only
Yeah,
thing.
but it could dead set be that the Harrovian just has the best run of the race.
Yeah,
and
and that'll win it.
It's just at the right place at the right time, and that's head down on the finishing post. So, again, crack of a race. You've even got Kadar, who's the last start Ballina Cup winner at $21.
It's going alright too.
We saw that form last week with Jack Spratt flopping again, another 10 into $3 shot that just didn't go a bloody yard.
I think Bean Moz is a
if
bit
you
funny.
can-
He's still
if you can
filthy.
tell,
I
I
think
was
he's still
obviously on it. That was last week. We're always moving forward.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
are.
aren't
We are.
And mate, we've got to move forward to the Get Out Stakes. The last on the day, the Coastline BMW.
Yeah.
Handicap conditions, 1,200 metres. We've got a horse that we know we love to hate to love. J-Mac comes to town. It's a horse that you want to be on, but there's no J-Mac. You got Jimmy Orman, who's just as good up here.
Yeah, he's quality. Yeah, look,
$2.70 for Mass Destruction though in the last, mate.
yeah, I'm with it though. I reckon that's a forgive last start. I know J-Mac rode a peach start before, but I'm happy to forgive. Look, Jimmy Orman, he's probably, he's someone I can catch, and he's absolutely flying. He's back after his injury, and I think he ticked off a few winners the other day. It'll go forward from the barrier, loves the sting out of the track, and I just think it maps miles better than any other key contenders here. And a few of these, like, I know they're coming up. Lasting Kiss is no slouch. You got Bonaparte, Boomtown Lass. I mean, seriously, like, that horse just needs to...
Well, I thought it was retired.
Yeah, that's what I thought. And then it got sold and it's back at the track again. I just think, I'm kind of like, just let it have its day. It's done all the... It's been all... It can be Star Virgo. Like, I mean, this is what I mean. So it's just... And then you got Fasano, who comes out first up last week and wins at $26. I mean, that was the thing we used to love to be on. Yeah, and it's a fortune.
I think we specifically said that it hasn't done anything since those days. What's
and
going on? Don't get on it, and then comes out and does that.
Yeah, so look, I'm with Mass Destruction. I think it's unders, but I just think, Maps to get the best run and should be winning here probably.
Yeah, good. I'm going to give the Mugs some value in the last, mate, because Lloydy's not here, so we need to fill the diversity factor here.
Yep.
Explosive quality. I've been on it before.
Yep.
And again, last start at Eagle Farm. So that's a failure. Even Mass Destruction, that was the wave meet there. It was the heavy. So that's what we... Mate, we come back to where we started this show, that some of the runs last start, you've just got to purely put a line to it.
Yeah, that's why you just forgive it.
You're not getting, but... Last prep showed a little bit this horse. So second up stats are good. Seems to go all right in the soft. 2 from 2 at the sunny coast as well. So it obviously is going to handle it.
Yeah, it handles the track.
And you got big bad Tomo. Big Shezza on board.
Yeah, he is. Sherry's back.
Yeah, Shezza's back, which is good to see. We love the kid. But if he's going to be taking 3 off to bring this down to 51...
We're carrying air.
It's going to be... Well, and Mass Destruction gets him pretty well at the weights.
Yeah, it does,
But that's what you're going to have to try and
beat it.
sneak through this thing here. So, 19s each way. We'll play. We'll take. We'll get it.
Yep. I like
Smooth, bloody sailing.
Would be a good Quinella play. Perhaps we should put a few Quinellas on this week.
Well, that's right.
After last week, anyway.
Well, we'll have to, we sort of almost have to not name him anymore, but there is a mob that does a little bet with mates strategy. Maybe we should tee that up this week.
Yeah,
and
we probably
should back out Quinellas.
We probably should do that, yeah.
Because I think we had the one decent race we had last week. I think Lloydy picked Skyconic, is that it? Seonic, whatever.
Yeah.
And mine ran in the second, which is sort of my day, but it was a $35, $40 Quinella.
Yeah.
And here we are.
$10 on that goes around, doesn't it?
A few of the lads message through and say, boys, good, thanks for the Quinella, rah, 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 rah. Hope you had a lash at it. Oh, we had a lash, all right? Went straight to the toilet and lashed my head in the bowl and thought, geez, what are we doing here?
Yeah, probably should back a few of our own there. Anyway.
Moving on, mate. We need your banger. That's what we'll get. We'll get the best of the day, mate.
Best of the day, mate. Bean's banger. We're in a smart one, mate. I think it's very smart. I think it's going to prove to this lot that it's just a bit more clever than the rest of them on the day.
Yep.
And then late in the
say, have a look around the grounds.
Yeah, I have had a look a bit around the grounds. Back to the Valley again for me. So fundraiser didn't get the chocolates last, but I'm back with the same stable, a different stable again, but the colours that this stable is synonymous for, and that is Universal Lady and Race 9 for Mara and Eustace.
Okay.
Yep.
Flying, aren't they?
One start, so it's got it's one start at the Valley for a pretty nice third, and I think if they're getting off the fence a little bit more, they weren't last week, but it sort of just builds into the Valley as you go, and I think if they get off the fence at all, can be running on late. It's about $11, $3.50, something like that. So good each way.
Alrighty. Take that, mate. Got to be slow hands for Moz's must-have this week.
I like it.
For reasons.
I didn't think about that.
You just gave it to me.
I thought you'll probably take that.
You gave it to me.
Yeah.
So that's how we're playing that. And
cool.
I've got a little bit of an around the grounds multi-magic this week, mate.
Moz's multi-magic. Maybe a bit of another segment there, perhaps.
And we're well, let's hope not. But there's 2 horses that I think are pretty good that are going around pretty short this weekend. Anamo's back.
Yeah.
Around week. So you get about $60, $70 there for Anamo. But if you have a look at the field, I haven't even really had a look at the field.
Is it just cats?
It's cats, mate.
I saw J-Max say that he was not like... it wasn't airborne, but it's kind of like some of those horses. It's sort of like Winks, they're just that good. They're just that good, aren't they?
Well, that's the thing. It culminated at a Cox Plate. So we're going first up over 1,200 metres.
Yeah.
You got a horse like Wisdom of Water in there, mate. Like, come on. Forbidden Love goes alright, but again, Forbidden Love's probably
needs a trip
needs a bit more as well.
Yep.
So I'm going to chuck Animo into another horse down the valley, which looks to be a little bit of potential Group 1 in waiting. It's a horse called Morabi.
Oh yeah, the
Murray
Eustace bolter,
undefeated.
The leading.
Yep.
It just kicks.
Jump lead win. So jump lead win, and 1,200 meters here. I guess we're looking at a couple of weeks for CF4's first Group 1 of the season, which I'm pretty sure is a 1,400 meter handicap. So that could probably.
Is that what they're targeting? I thought they were going to be
something like that.
They're going to keep it to the sprint trip or not? They're going to try and stretch it out.
Well, it could just be one of those horses that haven't figured out what they want to do with it yet.
Yeah.
It's probably
it's never got
probably
close
wants
to
a
being
trip,
caught, but
no,
builds to it. Yeah,
probably wants the trip. It's too brilliant over the shorts. So they're like, well, let's just keep getting these easy.
Judging by the way my Eustace go, it'll be over 1,200 here at the Valley, and they'll be first up into the Melbourne Cup and win. Exactly. They don't really do a lot wrong, do they? They do nothing wrong.
Case in point, 2 weeks ago when they came up here and walloped everybody.
Yeah.
Gave everyone COVID too, apparently. But
I
did
hear that at the party.
Yeah, we didn't make it to the party, unfortunately.
No
we were
Cheers.
too busy having
Kieran.
beers elsewhere and better parties, because that's what we do, VIPs. But mate, not a bad card. It's a tough card. It's Sunny Coast meets like this are always tough because you're going to get them from everywhere. And
well, they just don't. It's almost like it feels unplanned.
yeah,
It feels like they forgot it was on the calendar, and people are like, oh crap, we've got to put a horse in there.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
Yeah,
and it's very much a locals track too, isn't it?
Yeah,
So you wouldn't be surprised if some of the locals with $20 bolters just win every race, and we just go, "What the hell happened here today?"
Matt McCall's just counting the. She's just counting the bills.
And Michelle Payne's a local now.
Oh, jeez.
Well, I don't think she's here, so maybe it doesn't count, mate.
Yeah, I don't think so.
But anyway, Mugs, I hope you enjoyed a couple of those new segments. We'll piece in Lloydy's if you got back to us. Otherwise, that's the hype for next week.
Yeah,
Can't
the
wait.
three amigos back together again.
Yeah,
Cheers, Mugs.
if he keeps his job, we'll find out. See ya.